If you discontinue to watch this video, then please tell me what the reason for it was, so that I can improve. Otherwise, hi, welcome. I'm trying to learn gastroenterology, today the digestive system, and after we've done it, we're gonna do martial arts basics training. And if you participate in the martial arts basics training, then it's very honest. We're talking here about internal anatomy and also a bit about faces. How food is digested. This is part 3, I think, now where we are with this grab. And now we're trying to gather these informations together and try to make a presentation out of memory of it. So how food is digested. After a few minutes, the food has been propelled into the intestine already from the stomach. The first part of the intestine is the duodenum, around 30 centimeters long. Yes. And now the stomach is empty after 2 to 3 hours. When in the small intestine, 7 meters long, it takes around 12 hours. The food is propelled forward also in the esophagus through a system called peristalsis movement. When the swallowing process, with it starts, it begins as a voluntary action, then reflex takes over at the end of the mouth. The food is pressed against the top of the mouth, called palate. The palate. Swallowing begins as a voluntary action, but at the back of the mouth, reflex action takes over. A small food ball, the bolus of the bolus, is pressed against the palate. Throat muscles hold the hyoid bone steady, and when throat muscles are holding the I don't really know what it is. Hyoid bone, it's shown where it's better. So the throat muscles are holding the hyoid bone steady. And when the epiglottis are closing over the airways, the windpipe. And so that the food does not come to the larynx and the windpipe into the lungs. And the food is forced through the pharynx. I'm trying to use the same word. It is forced through the pharynx, through the esophagus, then into the stomach. In the mouth there are already the salivary glands, there are the submandibular glands, and there is the mandibular somewhere down there, and there are the sublingual glands, also somewhere there under the tongue, and the parotoid glands. They are more up at the cheeks to the right here. Parotoid glands beneath the jawbone, and the parotoid glands which are at either side of the face, just in front of the ears. These are the glands which swell up during an attack of wounds. I need to know where exactly. Okay, the parotoid. Submandibular, sublingual, and parotoid. Located in cheeks, under tongue, and in lower jaw. These produce saliva. And the saliva helps to lubricate the food and break it down, and break also the simple sugars down. And break it down to simple sugars. And break it down to simple sugars. It comes into the stomach. In the stomach, it stays for after 2 or 3 minutes. It goes into the duodenum, the first part of the small intestine. Then it stays there for 12 hours in the small intestine. And if the stomach is empty after 2 to 3 hours, was anything else here? Esophagus? No. Nothing new. Yes, the esophagus is at the top and at the lower end, the muscle sphincter. When the stomach is a storage place for churning, and acid and peptic enzymes are given to it. Acid and peptic enzymes are given to it. And many bacteria are destroyed. Acid and peptic enzymes and bacteria destroying these 3 things. It's churned, acid peptic, and churned, acid peptide, and peptic. And then bacteria are many destroyed. Liver, no, that's not the next one. Duodenum, 30 centimeters. Where the mixture of food and enzymes from the stomach is added to by digestive juices from pancreas, gallbladder, and glands in the intestinal walls. There, from the intestinal walls, come more digestive juices from gallbladder, from pancreas, and also from the glands in the intestinal walls. Pancreas, gallbladder, the glands in the intestinal walls. It is just coming into it. glands in the intestinal walls, pancreas and gallbladder. Duodenum. When it comes into the small intestine, in the small intestine, 7 meters long, 12 hours, there is the duodenum, the jejunum and the ileum. Jejunum, ileum. I don't know if I can remember it. No, in a moment. Okay, where are the villi? That is the other graph here. Where's the muscular layer? That is more standing in the muscularis mucosae. That is contracting. That lets me see like muscle layer with the villi wave. These villi they have on the inside blood capillaries, and we're taking with that the minerals and the vitamins and the amino acids and the carbohydrates, the sugars, amino acids, minerals and vitamins. Into the bloodstream, which is then brought through the portal vein to the liver. The products of digestion are absorbed into the bloodstream and carried along the portal vein to the liver. There they are stored or used in the synthesis of chemicals needed by the body. And there, out of them are synthesized or made out of them the chemicals needed in the human body, or many of them. And the fats are coming from the lectorals. The lectoral glands, what we call it. Lymph system, just lectoral, doesn't make sense to the glands. There are glands at the outside of the villi. These are lymphatic channels, the lectorals, as the lectorals taking the fats. When it comes into the colon, it is 1.5 meters long, and the water is absorbed, and the indigestible food stays, and also cells from the intestinal walls, bile salts, and acid from the liver. That is it. What do we have here? I'm going to start the camera and try to save it. The digestive system. It starts as a voluntary process, so a person eats, the swallowing process in particular, and then at the back of the mouth, reflex, the system basically starts. The food, the bolus, is pressed against the palate at the top of the mouth, and then it goes down through the swallowing process. The epiglottis close the windpipe down so that no food comes to the larynx and the lungs, and then it is forced into the esophagus and at the pharynx. And it comes then through the esophagus down into the stomach. There's a muscle ring at the top and at the end by the stomach of the esophagus, a muscle ring which prevents food from going in and back also from the stomach back. When in the stomach, there are peptic and acid enzymes added to the food, and already after 2 to 3 minutes it enters the first part of the small intestine, the duodenum. The next part is the jejunum and the ileum of the small intestine, 7 meters long. Now in the stomach, the food stays for 2 to 3 hours when it's all in the duodenum or small intestine. But the first food enters already after 2 to 3 minutes. Now there are acids and peptic enzymes added, and that's also there for churning. And many bacteria are killed in the stomach. When in the duodenum, there are other things added to help with the other digestive juices from the gallbladder and from the pancreas, and also from glands at the small intestinal walls. When in the small intestine, there's the muscularis mucosae, that is a muscle layer, and that is contracting. And on it are standing with muscle layer, and on it all these villi, so seaweed-like things. And these villi we have on the inside blood capillaries and lectorals. The blood capillaries are taking the sugar, the amino acids, and the minerals and the vitamins out of the food, and the lectorals the fats. And at the outside of the villi there are also glands. So we're taking it out and transporting it, not the fats, and transporting it to the blood capillaries through the portal vein to the liver. The liver makes makes out of all these things when the chemicals needed in the human body. When it goes on, the food after 12 hours in the small intestine, it comes into the colon that is 1.5 meters long, and there is water absorbed, and there are now the indigestible things, the undigested things in, and also bile salts and acid from the liver. And that is according to the digestive system of the chapter The Human Body on the page 466 of Reader's Digest Library of Modern Knowledge, Book 2, 9, design written by Gordon McPhersons and Tony Smith. But this is not medical advice. I'm going to stop the camera. Now we don't have time left. We're gonna come, I think, back for 2 more things at least. The one thing is that I want to have another video about the times, so it's taking 10 seconds. I'm just saying how long it takes everywhere. And another video about the swallowing process, so that we have it also in a good video. So that means, if you were here for gastroenterology, you can go directly to the next part of gastroenterology, where we will then work on that also. If you stay here participating in the martial arts basics training, then it's at your own risk. We bring you one leg up. I forgot to set the last. And exercise, we're taking the leg at the ankle. Straight back and knee down to the ground. And other leg. Straight back, knee down to the ground. You can mention it in the swallowing process. Legs wide apart, and we're going over to one side. The toes in front and we're stretching the inner side of the leg. And to the other side. Now the lentis go upside down. Now a few lunges. Go up front with a knee down and back again. Other knee in front. Back. And again, first leg. And the last time. Now stand good and one knee up and back. 1, 2, 3, up and back. 1, 2, up and back. Shoulder snow plow exercise. Next exercise is stretch kicks. One arm out, kick against it. 1, 2, 3, arm out, kick against it. 1, 2, 3, arm out, kick. 1, 2, 3, and kick. 2 more, kick. 1, 2, 3, and kick. Now, next exercise. Knee back and in. Up with the knee and back, up and in. Up and back. In. And the last one. And now, already Christian kicks. Leg up and back, up and in. Up and in. One leg more. And now, lunge kicks. Lunge kicks. So I'm going to kick now close to the camera. One leg in front, the upper leg up and kick in front. Back, the other leg in front, knee down and kick. And again, right leg in front, down and kick. And back. Left leg and kick. Let's do 2 more. Lunge and kick. And again, back. Lunge and kick. Wrong leg. Now, squat kicks. Squat down and kick. Down, kick. You can do also a wider squat. Down and kick. One more. And now the hiking frog, I think, exercise. So lunge down and over. Lunge down. You can do a wider squat. Down. And swing kicks. Kick. Swing. Step back. 1, 2, 3. One more. And now 12 push-ups. On the ground, hands underneath the shoulders, straight back, tuck the pelvis in and go down. First push-ups, elbows close to the cage. And the second one. Number 3. And number 4. And 5. 6. 7. And let's go on with 8. And 9. And 10. And the last 2. 11. And 12. And now, walk up between the place. One heel onto the ground, pull the toes in. Put to the left and pull the toes in. Put to the right and pull the toes in. To the middle and move the leg from left to right. A hiker's hilltop stretch, also with your foot. Pull the toes in. Put to the right and pull the toes in. To the left. middle, and move from left to right. And one leg up again. Another one. Legs wide apart, breathing it down. Breathing across the legs. And breathing it out. That was for martial arts basic swimming. I thank you very much. Maybe the next time.